All semester, I've focused on girls' access to education. This includes girls being allowed to go to school, receiving a quality education, and staying in school throughout their primary school years. Millions of children across the world will never have the chance to go to school. Out of these children, approximately 130 million are girls. Only 40% of the world's countries currently offer equal access to education for girls. Places such as sub-Saharan Africa and Central Asia are especially bad in the equality of education. This issue is bigger than not just being able to go to school. Girls being educated helps birth rates, as areas where they have mothers who are literate tend to have lower infant mortality rates, but it also allows girls to grow up more confident and have more opportunities to have a fulfilling career and contribute to the world's economy. Several different cultural aspects prevent girls from being allowed to go to or to stay in school. We'll start with some cultural practices, such as the coming out ball in South Africa. Here, every few years, the young girls are married off. Any girl currently in school is forced to drop out to become a wife and to start a family. In Zambia, the Tumbuka tribe relies on girls following tradition to keep their culture alive. They fear by breaking tradition and allowing their girls to go to school, their culture will disappear. In other countries, such as India, strict gender roles are a part of local culture where girls are expected to stay home and help with the family chores while the boys go to school and get a career. Finally, some places use religion as an excuse to not educate girls. A great example of this would be Malala Yousafzai, who was shot by the Pakistani Taliban for attending an exam in 2012. Using her own personal experiences, Malala has since gone on to be an activist for girls' education all over the world. There are economic aspects that prevent girls from attending school, but the economy can also be improved by educating girls. Several countries where girls don't attend school regularly are riddled with poverty, such as India and Bangladesh. Here, families often struggle to pay the school fees and other hidden expenses, and when they can, they often send their boys to school instead of their daughters. This is because in a patriarchal society like theirs, educating girls is not seen as a good investment because any money she will go on to make will contribute to her husband's family instead of her own. In these countries, child labor can also be critical to a family's survival. So most families prefer to send their child to work to earn money for food and shelter instead of school. But countries with educated girls tend to have higher GDPs, and women are more likely to seek out employment that they're interested in and have a bigger presence in the career world. They're also more likely to pick out higher paying jobs. The Office of Education and Women in Development did a study in several South and Central American countries and found that women, whether from urban or rural areas, tended to seek out higher paying jobs and began to shift away from women's work, such as teaching and nursing, to careers such as law and business ownership. Political and government interference can both help and hurt girls trying to go to school. Laws such as Title IX in the United States, passed in 1972, prevents discrimination based on gender in any educational institution, whether it's in the classroom, extracurricular clubs, or athletics. In Cameroon, the Ministry of Women's Affairs helps provide funding to families who cannot afford to send their daughters and has vowed to improve girls' school attendance in rural villages. These are both examples of some helpful politics when it comes to girls' education. But sometimes, simply passing laws isn't enough. In some country where tradition reigns strong, laws such as the ones that allow child marriage still are in play. Other times, local governments are unable or unwilling to enforce the federal laws that allow girls to be educated. Dr. Kara Janigan did her PhD dissertation on this and followed an NGO supported by the federal government in Tajikistan that focuses on preventing girls from dropping out of school after grade 9. She found that each year, more and more girls stayed in school in the areas where this NGO, actively backed by the government, was active. In the last couple decades, equal access for both genders has come a long way. This semester, I've really learned how much the different cultural, economical, and political aspects that we learned about in class have influenced my issue, whether it's for better or for worse.